Hey guys, I'm Desikan and today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Colorbar 24-hour powder foundation. So I think this is a pretty recent launch and this one retails for 995 rupees. You get 9 grams of product and this is made in Italy. Now if you are wondering why I was particularly intrigued with this particular product, even if you're not wondering, I'm going to still give you a backstory. So I thought that when I saw the demo and those little clips that Colorbar had put up on YouTube and Instagram, I thought that this one was very similar to the L'Oreal Infallible Powder Foundation that took the world by some kind of amusement and everybody was intrigued with that product. So I thought, okay, this one looks quite similar to that and is performing quite similar to that. I don't know if it is the exact same thing because it's launched everywhere except for India. So I was not very sure what my shade in this would exactly be because there were not a lot of reviews about this product and not a lot of like shade charts or comparison, nothing of that sort. So I resorted to picking up the shade PF10. They have about 16 shades or 15 shades in this range, which is again pretty good. So yeah, they do have about 16 shades and it's not very inclusive. I don't think they have a shade for like very deep skin tone, but a pretty decent shade range. Now coming to my skin prep, I have already cleansed my skin with my Dermawave Hydra Cleanser, used my Dot & Key hydration booster capsule serum, something that I always use before makeup, before my moisturizer. And for moisturizer I have used my Nutriderm moisturizing lotion. I think that is enough for my skin right now. So for primer, I don't really have any primer that I want to use today because I want to test this product out just like this, because if you are someone who's going to use powder foundation on a daily basis, I think you want to use it because you want to be out the door really quick and fast, and is something that is like a quick makeup step. So I'm not going to be doing any of that. So this is what the powder foundation looks like. I really love this packaging. It's so luxe. It also feels really nice and heavy and luxe. It's not like cheap and flimsy, and it comes with a sponge applicator inside the box. So I would ideally prefer to use it with that because it shows how the product is going to perform. So this is what the applicator looks like. I like that it's been stored separately. You can choose how you want to store the product. So on one side I will try it with this sponge itself, and on the other side I will try it out with a brush, and it's a nice and also comes with a really nice mirror, which I am impressed with. I want to see how the shade matches, picking up that much. Okay, the shade is a little bit on the pink tone for me. I would like something a little bit more neutral or warmer. I didn't know, like I mentioned, like there was no shade reference and I couldn't go and get it anywhere. But oh my god, the coverage is just so beautiful, you guys. Can you see that? I have like a laser mark right here and it's completely covered. Super impressed. Because I wanted to test this foundation, I didn't even really want to color correct or anything of that sort. Just try out this foundation on its own. And one time the sponge actually picks up a decent amount of product, so you don't really have to keep re-dipping it back into the pan. So that is a pretty decent coverage. I mean, that's really good coverage, not pretty decent, really good coverage. But on the other side of my face, I want to try it with a powder brush, something that can give me same amount of coverage. So just in case you're someone who is not very comfortable with using the sponge, you can try it out with the brush as well. So just kind of, yeah, the brush actually kind of like disturbs the product, makes it a little bit messy in the pan. Just going to be taking a normal buffing brush because I feel like that this brush is really too fluffy and wouldn't give me the coverage I would want. So a normal buffing brush. It is giving me pretty decent coverage just like the sponge is, but you need to really like keep going back multiple times because it's a powder product and the brush is not picking it up as much the first time like the sponge is doing. So I would really like to use the sponge itself, but I'm just also going to give it another shot with a beauty blender just so that to see, because this is also a sponge, I want to see if it works out like that. Yeah, this would do the job. So in case you misplaced that sponge and you needed something else, so the one time the beauty blender actually picks up a lot more product and then you can just swipe it across your face. I really love how my skin is looking. It is a little bit matte, okay? I like the natural sheen in my skin to peek through, but it looks a little bit matte but really nice and flawless. I don't even think I need that much of a concealer around my mouth. Just gonna use this underneath my eyes as well, because why not? Okay, it does a pretty decent job of concealing your under eye. If you don't really have very stark under eye circles, you can still get this product to conceal it. But as you guys can see, it's kind of sitting on the lines and the folds of my under eye area, which is quite common. I mean, everybody has it, but it only kind of tends to accentuate it a little more because it is a powder product. And kind of use your fingers as well to smoothen it out. So I'm going to be using this one for my full face. Okay, it looks really nice. So now, because it is a powder foundation demo, I also want to give it a shot with my usual product. So I want to try out on one side with a cream blush just to see if that works on one side. Okay, so I just want to see if, like, I know that cream and powder products don't gel well, but I just want to see if there's any exception. Okay. Not like it's looking very bad, but because it's a powder product, of course, it's a lot harder to blend the cream product on top of it. It's not like it's splitting, it's like caking up, nothing of that sort, just that I wouldn't recommend it. Try to use a powder blush itself. So now on this side, I'm going to be trying it out with my usual powder blush. This is the LA Girl Rad Rouge blush in the shade Icon, one of my favorite shades. So that one being sort of like a matte blush. It does have light shimmer particles to it, but it doesn't translate as much onto the skin. But even that is going on so smooth. It's not like clinging on to any dry patches and not hard to blend onto my skin, which I really like. So now that that is done, moving ahead with my bronzer using the Sephora Powder Compact as a bronzer. And then now setting my skin with my makeup fixer. This is a Swiss Beauty makeup fixer. So now this is my skin complete. So far I really like how the powder foundation is looking on my skin, but I will give it some time to see how it sits on my skin. So right now the time is 2 o'clock, 2:06. So I'm taking a small lunch break, and I will be back after a while to show you guys how it's sitting on my skin and also how it's wearing. So yeah. So right now it's been about like 40 minutes since I did the last check-in, so I have another video to film. Maybe I'll give you guys another check-in after that, but right now my skin is looking really nice, and I'm trying to like press my phone against my face and see if it is transferring, but no transfer on my phone at all. Okay, first let me clean my phone. Give you guys a transfer test against my phone and see if there is any transfer. There is no transfer on my phone at all, which I really like. So this is sort of like a long wearing foundation. It is really nice and matte, and so far so good. I haven't really been sweating on my face that much, so I will change my outfit and everything for my next video. So let me see if it is going to like cling on to my outfit or anything, and then give you guys like a final check-in. So currently it's going to be 4 o'clock, and I gave you guys my last check-in around 2 o'clock. So it's been 2 hours since I have been wearing this foundation. It's still looking really nice. So I've sort of like normal to dry skin during the winter time. So now that it's summer, I tend to sweat on my face only if it's like really hot, humid, there's no ventilation at all. But right now it is a little bit nicer, the weather is a little bit cooler in Bangalore, so nothing of that sort is happening on my face. And if you guys are wondering what is all this on my face, it's because I had to film another video. So it was all about highlighters, which I think will go up after this video or before this video. If I do edit it and upload it before that, I will link it right here. So it's what I have on my face today. And it's been a while since I have been wearing this foundation. I really like how it looks. It's not like making my skin look really dry, not clinging on to anything, not making my skin really powdery, nothing of that sort. So only thing I have noticed is that the shade is a little bit off, and it has oxidized a little bit on my skin tone. So from the time I've initially applied it, it has gotten a little bit darker. That's the only thing that I noticed, but nothing that is drying my skin out or clinging on unnecessarily. So what is my final take on this foundation? I would highly recommend this foundation for anyone who's looking for a good powder foundation to wear on a daily basis. Now if you have very dry skin, I'm not sure if you would really like this, because it is a powder foundation and it might be a little bit too powdery for your skin. So if you have normal to combination oily skin, you would really like this powder foundation, and you just have to get your right shade match, because the undertone of this needs to be right, because it has pretty decent coverage. And I wouldn't compare this to any other powder foundations that I own, like the Lakme powder foundation. That one doesn't even have as much coverage as this one does. This is really good, and I feel like could be a comparable dupe to the L'Oreal 24-hour Freshwear powder foundation. It is really nice, something that is available easily in the Indian market. It's like you don't really have to wait forever for the brand to launch the product. It's not like that. You can easily get it online. Now I can see most of the shades are sold out. I'm not very sure how you're going to get your shade match, because I couldn't get my right shade as well. So that's the only thing, but I really like this. It gives you a really good medium coverage, sort of like medium to high coverage even. You can compare it to most of the liquid foundations that I own. It could easily mask up the pigmentation right here around my mouth. I haven't used concealer at all today. Even underneath my eyes, you can see it is lasting pretty well, and right underneath my eyes you can see the prominence in the oxidation, like how much it has oxidized. You can see it prominently underneath my eyes. So I would recommend using a liquid concealer just to conceal underneath your eyes and everything, but for the rest of your face this would suffice. It's a really nice product. So if you're someone who like has to later sometime have to go to college, I don't know when we are going to be back to that kind of life. So if you're going to be going to college or work or anything, and you need something that is quick, on the go, and does look like you have something on but not like cakey too much, you can try this one out. You guys would really like it. And one thing I have noticed is that it does contain SPF to it, so it does kind of have like a flashback in flash photography. So that's the reason I would recommend this as a more daily wear product and not something you can use for a special occasion. Okay, so if you have like an occasion to attend during the daytime and you wanted a little bit more coverage, so you're using your usual foundation and you just want to top it off with this powder foundation just for coverage, you can still do that. But if you're going to be doing a lot of photography in white lights and indoors, I would avoid this particular product, because it's mentioned right here. Where is it? Because it is mentioned right here that it does contain an SPF of 30. Because it contains an SPF of 30, should you avoid your SPF in general, like the sunscreen that you're using on a daily basis? No, you still have to go ahead with your usual sunscreen. It's just that brands find this to be a another point to sell it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Do let me know if you have tried this powder foundation, or have you tried any other powder foundation that is as good as this one. Let me know in the comment section down below, and also give this video a big thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Don't wanna play games up with them.